And welcome back to Sports Night. You know, the thing I like when Gary Stokan shows up from the Chick-fil-A Bowl, he always brings us gifts. And he never lets us down.
Matt
Gary
never
Stokan
passed it down to you.
Yeah,
Never
did. You want to give me one of those?
No, I don't. I got 2 free Chick-fil-A sandwiches. You know what? I'll take care of it. I'm trying to put on a little bulk here, Gary.
Well,
I have.
Gary, we'll discuss this at a later time. Let's talk about what's going on with the Chick-fil-A Bowl. For those that don't know, the 9th oldest bowl that's out there, and a great tradition, 40th anniversary it's celebrating, is it not?
This is our 40th anniversary and Chick-fil-A's 40th anniversary of the chicken sandwich. So some nice synergy there.
Who would have thought?
It's amazing, though, every year. Themselves at the Georgia Dome, and this year is no different. You get the 2 Tommies with Tuberville and Bowden, Clemson and Auburn. You don't even have to promote this. It sells itself.
Well, we're sold out for the 11th straight year, which only puts us behind the Rose Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl in continuous sellouts. And you're right, the SEC and the ACC make a big difference. Moving into the Georgia Dome was fantastic for us because our title sponsor before at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium was weather plagued.
Oh, God. For people who don't know,
everybody said weather plague Peach Bowl.
Every year, the rain and snow and things would come out of nowhere.
It was awful weather. Now we promise everybody 72 degrees. It's been fantastic. And matchup-wise, you're right. We've got, a lot of people say the best matchup in the bowl business this year. Over 15 years, it's 8-7. SEC 300 by the SEC. So that's how close the games we've been getting.
I got maybe a stupid question, but I've always wondered at a lot of the games, right, winding down. For instance, I was at Georgia Tech and I see everybody in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. What happens in that room when you know the BCS games? What happens at that very moment? You get what pick do y'all get?
We get the first pick in the ACC after the BCS, and then we get the 4th pick in the SEC. So we have all kind of contingencies based on who picks above us, what the BCS does, and you know, it's kind of interesting in there, but you know, we're prepared for whatever might happen.
Do you pick the ACC and then you come back around to an ACC, or you get your matchup?
We get the ACC team first.
Okay.
And then
I'm always amazed because the matchup is always one of the best ones.
I just knew that plenty of nuggets were served behind the scenes. That I do know. And we know this year, outstanding matchup as we take a look at the 2 teams, Tommy versus Tommy, Tuberville versus Bowden in Auburn and Clemson. And you got to love this matchup.
This could be our toughest ticket we've ever had. It's just been phenomenal, the interest. There'll be fireworks in there before the fireworks. A lot of orange, 2 Tommies. And both renegotiated new contracts right before our game. So there's so many similarities. It's going to be outstanding. 2 teams
that travel well too.
Really
the city of Atlanta is going to be rocking with those. Yeah.
And the luncheon was last Thursday, and certainly the coaches had plenty to say. Let's hear from the aforementioned coaches, Tommy Tuberville and Tommy Bowden.
It's a fine line in a bowl game. You want to be a reward for the players, and you walk a fine line to make it be monotonous. Students are gone, classes are out, finals are over, and you know, they'd like to be home for Christmas. So both of us, I would assume, do the same thing. We've done a little bit of skill throwing and catching right after our last game, did a little weight room work. Finals are going on now, minimal practice, and then practice a little more intense.
Some teams, one team one year I was at University of Miami would practice 32 times, and we played horrible. And I think it's more, you know, that you get your players' attention. They understand that they're going to make some mistakes, but you try to limit as many as you can. You try to get them to play hard, but as Tommy just said, it's a reward. And if you don't treat it as a reward, you know, those kids that are juniors and sophomores next year might be really fired up about coming back to a bowl game.
You think about what the Chick-fil-A Bowl has been, and the margin of victory somewhere in the 8-point range, and that's based on a couple of years here recently where it's, you know, been big numbers. Beyond that, it's been 4, 5, 6-point games, which everybody says, all right, what's the next step for the Chick-fil-A Bowl? I know talk of BCS and other things. Where are we with that process?
Well, it's interesting. We have 2 more years. Big Ten, Pac-10 have ABC contract. They're not going to relegate themselves to any kind of playoff. I think the best we can get to is a +1. I don't think it'll have in this negotiation the next one. So what we're looking at is this 12th game. We are close to the Clemson-Alabama matchup. Football in Atlanta on an annual basis, bring down game day, college football live, have a big fan fest, big concert in the park, and have the game on that first Saturday. And that's what we're working for.
That's a great idea. Wow.
And certainly for those that are unaware, is
honor the community because they're the ones that have brought the Chick-fil-A Bowl back. We in 1985 were struggling. But now we, as I talked about, being one of the best non-BCS bowl games in the country, and just on Christmas Day on CBS, the Chick-fil-A Bowl alma mater will be on TV. So please tune into that. And then December 31st at 7:30 on ESPN, our game will be on. So we're blessed to be able to give back to the community. We think it's important. The city's done so much for us.
Gary, thanks for coming by. We look forward to the
Great
matchup
to
on
see
New
you
Year's
guys
Eve.
always. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much.
Same to you, and thank you for the gifts. And serious.
Will there be a new regime in Knoxville? And how does the SEC Bowl matchups look? We'll be joined by our SEC mastermind, Matt Stinchcomb, as we dive headfirst into the Southeastern Conference. But we aren't done yet. Only on SportsNite.
SportsNite is brought to you by VIP Limousines. Let VIP Limousines be your designated driver.